Self.
What do I always say, Ashley? What do you got to keep? What do I tell you? You always got to keep.
I don't know.
Come on, it starts with an R.
Recordings.
Receipt. Well, recordings, receipts, same thing. Hey, welcome back, everyone. I am your favorite butterball turkey, Blake Woodruff. We are back here at Erupt for our favorite show, The Tea. And I've got two of my favorite co-hosts with me. On my left, the beautiful Miss Ashley Dior Jones. How are you, Ashley?
Hi, guys. I am so good, so ready for this episode. So much tea to spill. I'm just happy to see you guys. It was an amazing holiday. I'm just happy to be here.
I know, same. All right, Miss Brie Thiele to my right. Are you just as excited?
What is up?
How
you guys,
are ya?
you got the mops ready?
Yeah,
We're
ready.
gonna mop up all that
Ooh, I
spilled
like
tea,
that.
guys.
So
We're gonna
much
spill it all over the
spilled
floor.
tea.
Get ready.
Well, so I want to know. So, of course, we're coming right off Thanksgiving holiday, Thanksgiving break. What did everyone do? Brie, tell us, what did you do? I know you had mentioned Hawaii, right?
I
last
had a
episode.
very exciting Thanksgiving holiday. Never been out of California, but I was in Hawaii this year, in the great state of Oahu. Went to the North Shore, said aloha to all the brothers surfing in the water.
Is
It
it
was
true
great.
that they use aloha for hello and goodbye?
Oh, they do.
They do, really.
Surprise.
According to Miss
Surprise,
Congeniality.
surprise.
That's a little pop culture fact for you guys.
You just
so
throw out
cute.
aloha all the time.
Hey, right?
It goes. It always goes.
So I'm glad you
love
guys
it.
had fun. It was beautiful. Everything was great. Good food. Any special?
Oh, it was amazing. We did the typical Hawaii plate lunch. I don't know if you guys have been over there. It's really good. It's like mahi chicken teriyaki Hawaiian style, and then you've got macaroni salad and some rice. You have rice with everything. It was delish to die for. You got to go.
Sounds
gotta go.
delish.
I love it. I look like I have rice with everything, too. Well, you guys already know. I mean, before we get to Miss Ashley, I've been wanting to talk about it, of course, because Ashley's going to lead off our next story. But did anyone see House of Gucci other than me?
I still have not seen
yet.
it.
Not yet. Not yet.
They saw it. Trust me.
Don't
They're just not
stone
wanting
me.
to say. Well, listen.
Let's hear it.
It's
Let's hear the
killing at
review.
box office.
Son
It's
and the
oh,
house of Gucci.
I think that was my ringtone on my phone, you guys.
For sure.
It should be.
No,
makes
it was
sense.
great. So that was actually a sound clip from the trailer and from the movie that Lady Gaga actually improv'd. Close your ears, Miss Ashley Dior Jones, because I'm going to say it. But Lady Gaga does say Father, Son, and House of Gucci in a very popular clip from the movie when she's actually getting the family to all turn on each other because Miss Patrizia Reggiani was basically the mastermind between the whole demise of the House of Gucci. It's very interesting, you guys. Lots of murder, lots of scandal. Well, just one murder.
Okay.
But it was a big
So
one.
much.
Now, it's getting mixed reviews. That's the thing, Blake. Some love the film, some hate it. You really liked it, right?
I loved it. I mean, you guys know I love anything mafia-esque, anything
Yeah.
where you,
You do.
where you turn on your family or your family turns on you. It's that's I love it. But I thought it was fantastic. I of course thought Lady Gaga did great. I thought Adam Driver was great. Al Pacino killed it. You guys, that was one of my favorite times every time he was on the camera. What's so heartbreaking, though, about the movie is the fact that no one that is a part of the family Gucci is a part of it anymore. None of them.
Bravo.
wow.
Well, and apparently
That's so
they're really
interesting.
PO'd about that, and they are threatening legal action. I read today over not being consulted.
Well,
at
and
all.
because, too, Patrizia actually was released back in October of 2016. She did go to prison for 29 years for hiring, along with the psychic played by Selma Hayek, which here, you guys, this is the biggest. Are you ready for this? I don't know if anybody knows this. So Selma Hayek's husband is actually the current owner of Gucci.
Yeah, of course.
How interesting
Of course.
is that, right? And so she plays the very kooky psychic medium that actually helps Patrizia Reggiani find the hitman
That's
to
right.
kill Maurizio, her husband. But very, very scandalous, you guys. Her family owned a truck, like a truck freight company. And Maurizio's father had turned his back on him because he did not want Maurizio to marry Patrizia. And so he worked for the family's trucking company until Patrizia was like, listen, I see those dollar signs. I know what needs to happen. And she went in and grabbed them all by the the Gucci sneakers, I guess you can say.
There you go.
Wow.
Turn things around,
Yeah,
huh?
turned it around.
Absolutely.
And then now, they actually have 2 daughters that are still alive. Neither are involved with the company at all, but everyone still collects a pretty hefty settlement, including Patricia. Once she got out of prison, she was able to start back claiming the money that she was owed from the divorce.
Okay.
Wow, must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
How was Gaga's accent?
I think when she, it was better than mine. I'll say that it was better than mine. But
I bet it was,
but mine sounds a little more like Jared Leto's. But I thought she did great. And when you really start to research her method acting. You can see this trailer right here. Beautiful. And, it's Ridley Scott who just shot this beautiful film. But she does well because she adjusts the accent throughout the movie to match the social setting she's in. And I think that's the problem. I go home and research every film I watch. I'm just a buff like that.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that people don't do their research and realize that's what she was doing. Because in those type of social settings, when you are part of an upper echelon, a higher social class, you do adjust depending on your...
Well, the
course,
different
of
dialects
course.
maybe
Of course,
too.
Yeah, and where
course.
you're at. And there's different wealth in different parts of countries like that, and then the people you are around as well.
I really just want to see this movie for all the vintage Gucci fashion, honey. I mean, Gaga looked incredible. Like this vintage Gucci stuff. I mean, guys, my name is Ashley Dior Jones, okay?
Right?
Like, does that mean anything to you? Like, my mom's first dog, I swear, name was Gucci.
Was it really?
I'm not kidding. My mom's dog's name was Gucci.
Gosh, a little behind the scenes.
Like the family, we're all about this fashion, so that's why I want to see this. I want to see it just because like this Gucci
worth
vintage
it.
is gonna be incredible. I just can't wait.
I love that. Yeah, you guys will love it. You'll love it. If for anything, it's a trash film, and that's what's great around this time of year. So you'll love to see it. But I want to know. All right, Ashley, what did you do? For Thanksgiving?
So I went to a Friendsgiving this year, which was amazing. We had this beautiful long table and real candles, and the wax just melted. It was so beautiful, romantic, in an apartment high in the sky in downtown LA. And we ate lots of turkey, and I made my sweet potato pies.
Yeah, girl.
I did, and they were quite delicious.
Yeah, girl.
So it was a really, really wonderful weekend. My boyfriend and I even went and saw like some Christmas lights over the weekend. 'Cause, I love the holidays, right?
Same.
It was we did kind of all of that stuff. But then Sunday we got the saddening news about Virgil Abloh passing away. So you guys, Virgil passed away at age 41 on Sunday of a rare aggressive cancer that attacks the heart. And you guys, he kept this diagnosis a secret for over 2 years. Like no one knew about his diagnosis except for his close friends and family. What was really interesting is Virgil was the first African American to be the artistic director at Louis Vuitton. I mean, big things.
Wow.
He was, the designer for Off-White, and Off-White, of course, did Hailey Bieber's wedding gown, which was incredible. I mean, he really made a stamp in the fashion world. So that was just heartbreaking to see that news come on Sunday.
I didn't, until you actually just said that, which will bring up a part of a larger conversation, is I had no idea there was a cancer of the heart that could attack the heart.
Right.
And we've talked a lot about this, you guys, and we'll get into it a little more in the show, but it's every celebrity's right to keep things private, but in a sense, I wish I would have known to bring awareness, because until you just said that, I'll be honest, I've been following the story. It's been very interesting with House of Gucci coming out and then this happening in the same, week, but I had no idea that it was a cancer of the heart, and I had no idea that even existed.
Neither.
And at 41,
I
mean,
know,
so
so young.
So young. It's really, really scary stuff.
Lots of tributes have rolled out too.
So many
people
celebrities: Kim Kardashian, Tracy Ellis Ross, LeBron James. I mean, the list goes on and on. People are really sad by this one.
And many people sounded just surprised. They woke up hoping this was a nightmare.
Exactly.
And it was kind of a battle that he kept secret. Apparently, like we said, it was a very rare form of cancer. I think he did a lot of very cutting edge cancer treatments to try and, prolong his time. But, ultimately the cancer went out.
Right. And as you guys know, Kanye West.
I was about to say, tell us a little bit about, because Kanye's been very public.
Very public. He, I think Virgil was actually a groomsman in Kanye's wedding. So imagine how close, this
right
family
there,
has to be. So of course the Kardashians and the West family are just, so saddened by this. Did you guys hear Kanye's Thanksgiving prayer by any chance? Did you guys?
Yeah.
Have you guys been watching that story? It's been kind of wild. I think we have a clip of it if you kind of want to hear what he had to say.
to his first football game. Saint got to play catch with Tom Brady before the game. This is a God's dream. My mini-me is a mix of two of my favorite things, me and my wife's face. All I think about every day is how I get my family back together and how I heal the pain that I've caused.
Wow.
That's heartbreaking listening to that, especially in silence the way we just did, because we know Kanye has all the issues that he has. We know what's been going on with the divorce and just with his mental health issues as well. But when you listen in his voice and the way he quotes things, it's heartbreaking because it's so emotionally raw.
It is.
Take away everything else from that. It really does sound like his heart's broken.
Yeah, he doesn't sugarcoat things. He puts it all out there.
Absolutely. And I think he even cleared out his IG page, right? Like it's completely blank at the moment. So, I mean, I wonder what he's going through right now. Like what state must Kanye be in? Like losing one of his best friends, fighting for his family. It's just the struggles he must be going through right now.
Well, and they said, the Sunday service he dedicated to Virgil. And then even during that, Kanye rewrote the lyrics to Adele's newest single, Easy on Me, adding new spiritual lyrics like, I know your love flows like a river, and I could wash myself in it forever. And I know there is hope in these waters, but I can't bring myself to swim where I'm drowning in my sin. I mean, very beautiful, but very heartbreaking, too. The man's going.
He's struggling.
And then at the same time, Kim's out. Of course, she has every right to, but she's flaunting her relationship and playing along with the press with her and Pete Davidson. Right. And so I'm sure he's literally like, where's my family? What happened?
He's got to be going through it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he wiped his page, which we think is in response to Virgil's passing.
Right.
Here you go.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
No post at all. Such an interesting way to show, your love for someone after they've passed. I mean, he's such a creative, he's such an artiste in that regard. But he also, he posted something, was it over the weekend, trying to get Kim back?
Yeah.
Like a public declaration of his love, and just, it was a picture of them kissing and hoping to inspire millions all over the world, to get back together. Time will tell if that happens, but it's just really interesting to see the outpouring of support and see how social media can be a coping mechanism, for a lot of celebrities and people.
What do you think, Brie, though? Do you believe that, social media, is it more of a commercial type platform, or do you think it is a way for celebrities to reach out and grieve or, talk about things with their fans or show what they're going through emotionally in this case? Do you think it's appropriate?
Here's my take. So we know all of the downsides to social media, right? All of the stress that it causes in our life. But in these instances, I really think that it can be a positive force and that it can be a healthy coping mechanism when you're going through something traumatic. I mean, you have this outpouring of social support, right? You have people coming to support you, to share their stories, to share their experiences. People love doing that. I think it makes you feel a little less alone in the world. Yeah. And I would say maybe it's not a terribly unhealthy way to cope with something.
What about you, Ashley? What are your thoughts on it?
It's just so interesting, especially since Chadwick Boseman's birthday was just a couple of days ago. He would have been 45, and this is another celebrity, you guys, who chose to keep his cancer a secret from the public. I really just think to each his own. I feel like social media is such a place where we kind of try to put our best foot forward, right? Like I take a lot of pics before I post the pic, and I think a lot of people do that. So I could totally understand not wanting to put your illness is out there. Like I totally get that, but I think to each his own in that situation.
We were talking, but it's like I just said, I had no idea there was a cancer of the heart or that attacked the heart. And it's so great to have your privacy and all of that, but when you have such a platform like that, to be able to share that you are going through something, to bring awareness to it, I feel like could really change the world. I just wish our culture, and it's an American culture thing. We are far more crazy than any other country's people in this world. But if we didn't attack people and say, oh, you're just looking for attention and
the cyberbullying and stuff, of course.
It's like you get cancer and people say, oh, can you keep that? But instead I'm like, no, let them talk about it because I want to hear, because maybe I'm going to be affected by that one day. Maybe I'll have a family member. I've been a caregiver for multiple family members that have passed of cancer, and they've both been rare forms of cancer. And I would love to just know what other people are going through, because it helps.
Absolutely. It helps to know that you're not going through things alone.
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing, is just sharing and, understanding that, we're in this together.
Oh, for sure. Well, because I think over the weekend there was another star who came out,
Christina Applegate.
right, on
Yes.
social media and
So
and
beautiful
publicly
look.
declared that she is now battling MS
on her
right?
50th birthday, right?
Yes, on her
Oh
50th.
man, she says it's been a really tough go.
And
know?
she was one of the actual. I mean, we all know her, a lot of us, because of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Yes,
but
that's my
she
fave.
was one of the first female actresses to really come out publicly years ago about her breast cancer
Sure.
Right.
diagnosis. And I love that. There's no telling how many women that were fans of Christina Applegate that went out and got. Went and got checked for it,
Sure.
and really said, talk to their doctors because they said, wow, there's someone that's like me that is going through this. So I love that she's being open. Selma Blair is someone else that's been very open. She's had a documentary. She's done lots of interviews. And MS, it's, I don't remember MS being right there. Look on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
I don't remember MS being something that was so prevalent back when I was growing up.
Right.
And now
Right.
it's freaking me out. I'm telling you.
You hear
because
about it
all the
often.
time.
Because does Christina Aguilera also have MS?
You mean Applegate?
I'm sorry, Applegate?
Yes, that's what.
Yes.
Yes, so
Yeah,
that's
okay.
what she was
Yes.
announcing is that on her 50th birthday, Happy Thanksgiving. But I've also been diagnosed with MS,
Which was a shock to hear. I
Devastating.
mean, she's
Yeah.
had quite a few health battles, as we mentioned. There she is up there.
And MS really does. Some of those videos of Selma Blair are the most heart-breaking videos of her when she's walking with the cane and her body, because your body, it affects your neurological system and your
Exactly.
movement and all of that.
Exactly.
And just watching her, it breaks your heart. But then I'm also at the same time like, you're so courageous. But that doesn't detract, though. I will say this because I want to make it clear. It does not detract, though, from how courageous Chadwick Boseman was,
Right.
Virgil and all, because what Chadwick Boseman's death has done in regards to helping, childhood cancer, there's been a lot of things. People really look at him as their hero.
Wow.
And and I think a lot of it has to do with Black Panther and how people really idolized him. And, it's so bittersweet and sad, but yet to see how many kids have said, wow, look at this man and what he did and what he changed for them,
Absolutely, a hero
A
forever.
total
Oh,
hero.
for sure. And Ash, like you say, to each their own, but it just highlights everyone's, it takes a little bit different course when going through some of these hardships. You have the Chadwick Boseman, the Virgil Abloh, even Robin Williams, who kept these diagnoses totally secret, didn't speak out about them. And then you have the Christina Applegates,
Yeah.
the Selma Blairs, who are very open about it on social media. And, who's to
Here's-
say what's right or wrong?
It's
Exactly,
interesting you brought up
exactly.
Robin Williams, Brie, because what's so interesting and different about his case is, his kids, his kids are around, especially his daughter Zelda, who is very outspoken on social media. And, she begs people all the time to please stop tagging me in tributes. I don't want to see people doing cosplay. I don't want to see people imitating him on YouTube. There is a guy who's become famous, especially during quarantine, Jamie Costa. I don't know if you guys ever saw his videos on TikTok and all. He looks like Robin Williams from his younger days and can do the voice, do every accent, is a great improv artist. And over the holidays at Halloween, they were sharing his videos and they were tagging Zelda, Robin's daughter, and she literally said, please stop. Like,
Wow.
I am grieving. This was look at that. She's like, this is my father. I'm grieving differently than all of you, and I know we shared him with the world, but I need to be able to grieve him on my own. And do you, how do you feel about that, though? Because it's like, Brie, we were talking when celebrities are out there and that's part of the job is sharing yourself, but do fans still have a right to be able
Right.
to do this?
Well,
or
and
they
the
shouldn't?
family's a little bit different, they're a little bit, they didn't ask for that, but you would think the fans who are doing these improvisations and this cosplay and stuff, you would think they have the right intentions, right? They think
Yeah,
it's going to
of
bring a
course.
smile
Yeah.
to
Of
her
course.
face and remind her of her dad, but who knows what she's going through,
Well, and we know, we all have families. We have moms, dads,
Absolutely.
grandmas, grandpas, everything. And we know we all get a different version of those family members than the public gets.
Sure.
So imagine someone like Robin Williams, who to the public is Mrs. Doubtfire, Patch Adams, all
course.
of these amazing characters that the world falls in love with. But that doesn't mean they were getting the same thing at home.
she saw his struggles.
Yes, you see the
probably.
struggles.
Yeah.
Even Robin's wife was saying that, she saw, because his aggressive illness was actually neurological as well. And he was shaking and there were things he couldn't do. He was stuttering, couldn't remember things. And, we didn't see that.
Oh,
Right,
no.
right.
The
Not at
family
all.
sees
Not
that.
at
So
all.
you can only imagine what they're going through.
And him taking his own life was such a shock to the world because I don't think we knew the severity of his illness or even that he was suffering.
Right.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Very sad, very sad. Well, lots of things over, especially with the Thanksgiving holiday. But let me tease you guys for a second. You know, should we lighten the mood up?
Yes.
Should we tell me? Do I get a drum roll? Waking up in the morning, feeling about so many things.
What is that, Blake?
Melania.
Oh my gosh, make it stop.
Your feet are so tired,
Make it
Melania. No, all right. Housewives. We're back with
Oh, my
another.
goodness.
Are you guys, can you believe it? Another second part to The Housewife, and they are calling it by Hulu, The Housewife and the Shaw Shocker.
Shaw
Shaw Shocker.
Oh, snap.
Right?
The drama.
I know
Oh
where
my-
we're going with this.
Oh, you know.
Oh, I
You
know.
I can tell you where we're not going, and that's to ICE custody and Homeland Security, like Jen Shaw did on the television
federal
show.
prison?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. However, so crazy, you guys. So we know we got
There
very
she is.
excited. There she is.
Wow.
There's
Wow.
her.
Wow. I mean, wow is really all I can say.
That just does something
I'm
to
at,
you.
I'm at a
you
loss
know?
of words, to be perfectly honest.
I know, right? All right, so here's the deal. So we know the first Housewife Hulu documentary was The Housewife and the Hustler.
Yes.
Hustler,
Erica
Hustler.
Girardi,
Well,
is that
Hustler
right?
if you're dirty.
Oh,
But The Housewife and the Hustler. But yes, this was the first one following Erica Girardi and Tom Girardi's case, which we know is going on right now with embezzlement and fraud. You know, Tom Girardi is a very famous Beverly Hills attorney, and we've seen it all play out on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But now we have Real Housewives. There they are. Look at that.
what
The
a couple.
Housewife. Which one is the Housewife and which one's the Hustler, though, if you really think about
Really
it?
good question.
Who
That's the
is
question.
the hustler? That's what I want to know. It's expensive to be me. I can't do a pat right now, you guys, because of the table. I can't pat the, which Erica's known for, but just think about it. But so this is a very jaw-dropping documentary revealing everything, which also during the Thanksgiving holidays, you guys, Stuart Smith, which is Jen Shaw's assistant, has changed his not guilty plea to guilty. And now, Brie, you and I have been talking about this a lot, all right? I'm thinking, and I want to know if you agree with me, do we think that he's changing this because he's about to turn on Miss Jen Shaw?
Oh, I think he's flipping. He flipped.
He's
He flipped.
Plea
He's
bargain.
got all the dirt. He knows where all the bodies are buried, and he is just going to dish it. He's going to dish it out. He's looking out for himself.
What do I always say, Ashley? What do you got to keep? What do I tell you? You always got to keep.
I don't know.
Come on, it starts with an R.
Recordings.
Receipt. Well, recordings, receipts, same thing. Listen, ever since I met Miss Ashley Dior Jones, one thing I learned from my daddy growing up, you got to keep those receipts now, my friend.
Baby. Keep
But
the receipts.
lots has actually come out through this documentary. And a lot of what we've actually learned, thanks to the Hulu documentary, is that everything about Jen Shaw's life was fake. Everything was rented. Everything was borrowed, you guys. Even she had to put up actual cash money for her $250,000 bail because she did not have one asset to her name.
No assets.
No assets.
No cars, no homes.
Stop. No jewels.
Nothing. It was all rented or borrowed.
Can you believe
Nothing.
that?
Even the Shaw Chalet, which I'm sure will be on Airbnb next holiday season. But you guys, literally, was a rental. Can you believe it? Or do you believe it, in a sense?
100%.
I absolutely believe it.
Absolutely.
Totally.
You know, they said
Absolutely.
everything was very secretive. Now, here is where, though, we do have to get a little bit, you got to start to think. You're like, we've been talking a lot about mental health. Why do people do this? We always say, why do you go on a housewife show if you've got skeletons in the closet?
Straight
Right.
up.
Well,
Straight up.
they actually interviewed childhood friends of Jen Shaw, and this is a little heartbreaking. I want to tell you guys this. They did say they said, I remember her one afternoon coming home. This is speaking about Jen Shaw. I remember her one afternoon coming home from school. I noticed that her skin had a bright red tint to it. And she said, I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, and it won't come off. And Vincent said, what are you talking about? What won't come off? And she said, the kids at school are calling me dirty, and I'm trying to scrub it off, and it won't come off.
Oh, man.
That, regardless of the antics and the fun, that really breaks your heart because it also shows you right there that you can see now why she's trying so hard to live this persona
She
that's
was
not true.
an outsider in Salt Lake City. You know, because she's
Absolutely.
Tongan.
Absolutely.
You know, and she just didn't fit in. And she
It's
just
so sad.
is still trying so hard to fit in.
I know.
You know?
It really is. And it doesn't, listen, she's still guilty as can be in my book of moral value
Oh, yeah.
for, fraudulently taking advantage of the elderly,
right.
in Ponzi schemes and, embezzlement. And so this is all going to get.
Okay?
Oh, never okay, you guys. You can't do that.
No.
You know that.
No.
I'm like, let
Just
me delete everything right now. No, I'm just kidding. But no, you cannot do that. You cannot do that.
No.
As we're seeing with Erica and Tom as well. It's going to be very interesting to see this play out.
Right.
Stuart, I have a feeling, is going to get a little slap on the wrist. This is her assistant, Stuart Smith, who we know, you guys. We've watched Jen. She had to have had multiple help with doing all of these schemes.
Oh, for many, many
Of course.
years.
These were
for
huge
many, many
telemarketing
years.
companies. We're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars.
I didn't even know this was really a thing. Once again, bringing awareness to something.
Right.
But like selling fake services that are of no use.
Well, let me tell you, they sold, here's what gets interesting, a Miss Penny Puckett.
Oh.
And I'm not making that name up.
Yeah.
We love you, Penny.
She was
but Penny Puckett actually in the documentary is interviewed and said how this would go down. They would receive phone calls, and she would buy non-existent services from a company that was owned by the co-defendants, which would be Miss Jen Shaw and others, and that they would say, listen, if you buy this program right now for $97, we can turn that $97 into $29,000. Sign me up right now. But unfortunately, that's what they said, and they got scammed and lost tons. It was too good to be true.
Way too good to be true.
So there were multiple people they interviewed during this, the same as they did with the housewife and the hustler. It's just very sad. It's very sad.
I didn't realize also, guys, so her and Stuart Smith, getting back to that Stuart Smith plea, they are charged in the Southern District Court of New York. This is the same court that charged that was in the college scandal, the USC college scandal,
really?
The Felicity Huffman.
You are breaking some tea, Miss Brie
Yes.
Thiele.
And apparently they have a 1% acquittal rate, right? So they do not indict unless there is plenty of evidence. But like the college scandal case, if you own it, like Felicity Huffman, if you plead guilty, I mean, you serve a couple of weeks and you're out. With Stuart Smith, he might serve a little bit longer than that. But the fact that she is putting up such a fight and kind of maintaining her innocence, it sounds like it's to her own detriment, So it sounds like he made the right call in this position. I mean, if he is guilty.
It sounds like to me Dancing with the Stars is in Stuart Smith's future because Lori Loughlin, you guys, her daughter, a part of the same scandal with Felicity Huffman, she has been on Dancing with the Stars. So Stuart, buddy, you can scheme all those elderly people, and you myself might just be a winner of the Mirror Ball Trophy.
Oh, there they are.
Stuart. Look
So
at you,
sad.
Stuart.
They look like they are just up to no good.
So sad.
Well, do you know what's so interesting about this picture we're using? They're in a car, and you know what that makes me think of?
That's a flashy
We're
car.
gonna drive back. Drive
Oh my goodness!
Hey,
Finally,
drive back.
let's talk about some housewives with not as much legal drama.
Right.
Potomac,
Potomac.
baby.
Don't sleep on Potomac.
Don't sleep on Potomac. You guys, if you missed Nicki Minaj hosting this episode of the Potomac reunion, you missed. I don't even have the words. Blake, what are the words?
Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, baby. Those are the words. Those are the words.
I can't. Nikki did such an incredible
Oh, she killed it.
job.
She killed it.
Killed it. We've got a clip to show you guys. Just watch. Just watch a little teensy bit of it. Just a teensy bit of what happened, you guys. It was incredible.
On a scale from 1 to 10, before that video came out, how successful did you think the song was gonna be? 10 being the most successful and 1 being Fliznop. Mia?
-2.
Cameron?
Place of hateration. Place of honesty.
You
Sorry.
guys.
Place of hateration.
I thought it was
The shade.
Nikki went there. Nikki asked the questions, you guys, that I always think Andy should be asking.
Oh,
like,
wow.
What we want Andy
what we
to
want
really
to know.
be.
Like,
Ask those questions,
she did
Andy.
not hold back, not one bit. I was so impressed.
I loved it.
It was incredible.
I know you guys have only known me for 6 months, but ever since I was old enough to know Nicki Minaj, I have been in love with that woman since day one when she came out and watching her, there was something powerful about the questions.
It was was
just everything. She owned it.
raw.
Oh, it was. And the way, you remember she was calling out Ashley Darby and she was like, girl, you know, you had no storyline this season. No, and I love that because you know
it's the truth.
It's the truth. And I wish we could be more honest about that. Sometimes each season, some housewives don't have a storyline. So quit grasping for straws. Just, you know, let the other housewives have their shine. Your time will come. But I loved it.
Yes, and everybody got it. Like, she didn't hold back on any of the housewives, right? I mean,
No.
you think about what she said about Wendy and Eddie's big booty models on
Yes.
Instagram. Like, she asked all the juicy questions, and I think the girls handled it well. What do you think?
I do. I think that what I love is that she's a fan.
She's a super fan, right?
And
it shows.
Yes, and so I think we finally got to see where Andy comes in a lot of times as the executive producer.
Right.
We finally got to see a fan actually ask the questions we've been wanting to ask. Like the $100 million question, you guys, my favorite.
Good.
Ashley, we talk about this and laugh. So Nicki goes, all right, I want to ask you all right, to all of you, if you each had $100 million in the bank, would you still be married to your husband? And then newcomer Mia Thornton, who, you know, all season long is dropped. I got this amount. I got this amount. She goes, well, how do you know, Nicki, I don't have $100 million? And Ashley, what'd she say?
She said, honey, we know you don't
You
have
don't have
$100
$100 million in the bank. It was the
Nikki,
best.
it was facts. It was like exactly right. Like, you can't play with Nicki Minaj. Like,
I can
one.
tell you if she's
No
got
one can
$100
go
million,
toe-to-toe.
whew, if she's got $100 million in the bank, then those massage parlors are not breaking backs.
They're
breaking
breaking
something
They're breaking
else.
some backs. They're breaking some backs.
Let me tell
Some
you.
different kind of backs. but-
Mia, baby, you better be taking a note from Erica Girardi and Jen
Please
Shaw.
be careful, Mia.
You better, please, yes, because we would like you at least for another season. Thank you.
Exactly. Please just don't do anything too scandalous, girl, please. But it was amazing. I want to know, do you guys think that this is a new age of the reunions? Do we think
I
that
hope.
Andy will bring in celebrities to start
I'd
hosting?
love it.
I'm wondering
love it.
who's
Cool.
next. I'm wondering who's next.
I think it's going to be really exciting. I was so happy.
I loved it. And you know what? Also, props also to Candace, all right? Because Candace, as you guys know, she struggles every season. She killed the vocals.
She did.
She killed the vocals with her drive back single. Nicki called her out and she said, well, here's the deal. You know, how many album sales have you had? And she said, you know, I own a label. She's like, let me help you out. Sing for me. And, you know, Candace kept saying, no, I'll do a gospel song. She said, no, sing your single. And she did it and she killed it.
She did. I'm so glad you didn't sing it, though.
Wow.
Like, thank you.
I did in the beginning.
I'm glad you didn't sing it right now.
Drive back. Drive back. Now we gotta drive back. Drive back.
You know what? That is something that only Nicki could do. You know,
I know.
only with her expertise could we get that kind of an engagement or an answer. You know, from a housewife. So,
It was freaking incredible.
who would you guys want to see host? Celeb wise.
Well, let's think. Okay, let's think. Atlanta should be airing soon. Who would be good for Atlanta?
Who could? I mean, maybe Rihanna. I think Rihanna would bring a lot of heat.
Well, you know,
she
Rihanna is
would
a
bring
fan of New
lot
York.
of-
Can
Is
you
she?
imagine
Okay.
if she had
that would be
hosted the New
amazing.
York reunion that was
Rihanna?
canceled?
Right.
Would have killed it.
Killed
That
it.
would have been awesome. I love that.
I love
Let's
that
put
too.
that out there.
Absolutely.
And I'll be honest, I'm all in good fun. That's why we love reality TV. You know, it's not that we tear people down, but it's fun to see things happen. I almost, in a sense, I like the whole female angle because I felt like Nicki was able to appropriately go there with the housewives.
yeah.
Because if Andy
Yeah.
had said some of those things, it would have been, it wouldn't have been, it would have been a faux pas a little bit.
Absolutely.
But Nicki was like, no, I can ask everything I want to ask.
Straight
And she did. And
Straight
she did.
up.
She
And
said
she
she
did.
asked like hours worth of content, but they cut a lot of it. Could you
Oh
imagine
my
what they
gosh.
cut?
Well, I remember that
Wow.
they had a soundbite where I think it was Karen said, God, she said it's 10 p.m. already.
Oh, wow.
And we still, at that point, had
long
30
day.
minutes left, so there's no telling how much was left of, the actual filming day.
Go,
I
Nicki,
loved it.
go.
I was
So
great.
good.
That's
I was
awesome.
great.
Good job, Nicki.
Well, we have another one, Brie, I think that you actually are going to introduce who wishes she was a housewife.
Well, she should be. She
Well,
may be.
she may- I
She
think
may be very soon here.
Who is it?
You guys, our favorite Hollywood bad girl. She was a
fiery.
bad girl.
Who could it be?
Lindsay Lohan,
Ooh.
LiLo,
La
good old
Lohan.
LiLo. Look at her. She's so happy. She is.
Oh, she does look happy,
engaged.
though.
She looks
She
so
is in
happy.
love. She is engaged there. She got engaged last week or over the weekend to a man named Bader Shamus, I believe. He is a part of a very prominent family in Kuwait because, of course, she lives in the Middle East. She had to
does.
escape all the crazy paparazzi in Hollywood. And yeah, she was actually in Utah, which is where Bader proposed to her. You guys, she's making a comeback.
Sweet.
I love that.
She
So
is filming a
sweet.
movie of some sort in Utah, so that is
A new Netflix
good
rom-com.
news.
with
Yes.
Cord Overstreet.
A rom-com?
It's a rom-com.
We need more rom-coms,
Yeah,
guys.
we do. Bring
Absolutely.
it back. Where's J-Lo does have Marry Me coming out, so that's going to be a great.
Oh, of course.
I love any J-Lo, rom-com.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm a big, Ashley, I'd love to know, are you a big Lindsay Lohan fan?
You know, I mean, I loved Parent Trap, and of course, I loved Mean Girls.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm really happy that Lindsay is finally getting maybe the life that she wants, and she's settling down with a good guy. I mean, Lindsay has 9.7 million IG followers, and her fiance has under 600, and his profile is private.
Under 600,000 or 600?
No, under 600. Period.
Aww.
But I think it's
Poor
great.
fiance.
I think it's amazing. He has this private profile. Like, I think it'll be really good for her.
Apparently, he doesn't like the limelight. He
I think
wants
that's
no
perfect.
part of it. And her dad came out and said, like, this is a picture of her old boyfriend, Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter. Do you guys remember Aaron?
Oh my goodness, that's
Look at
right.
him.
I want candy. I don't know, but I can tell you, Chloe, are you looking? Because Aaron Carter's got some tats like your sister's been looking
Okay,
at lately.
And he's newly single.
He's newly single,
He has a
Chloe.
little baby, but he's
Chloe,
newly
please
single.
don't.
He would
Chloe,
fit
please
right
don't.
in.
Are you
guys,
calling
Travis
it?
Barker, Pete
Please
Davidson, and
don't.
Aaron Carter all
do it,
dating
Chloe.
the
Please
Kardashians.
don't do it.
Oh,
Don't
can't
do it.
Take it.
I love it. I love it. Oh,
What
man.
did the daddy say? Because we all love a Michael Lohan
Michael
moment.
Lohan,
Oh,
remember
Michael
him?
Lohan moment.
So,
What a star.
Oh, yes.
he says, of Bader, he's not a Hollywood type. You don't see any pictures of them in the press. That was one of Lindsay's problems. The paps encroaching on her and coming up with stories. It was tough, but she's with a guy now who doesn't like the limelight. He also said that she's relaunching her career. Yay. And you want a good person in your life when you hit the restart button, which is
I
so
love
true.
that. It is
Absolutely.
true.
Which is so true.
I'm so happy for her.
I am too. And she is a good, speaking of The Parent Trap, I watched it on Thanksgiving. It's one of those movies, but you watch that, she really, at such a young age, wouldn't you agree, Ashley had such a talent?
Oh,
She's
absolutely.
so talented.
Absolutely. That girl can act. Like, she can. And we've got to give flowers where flowers are due.
What's your favorite Lindsay movie, Brie?
It might be. You can't beat Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Mean
You
Girls
can't
is
beat
good.
Mean Girls. It's
like
so
top of
good.
the top, yeah.
But you know what? Her acting career totally got overshadowed by just the fame, and she was a little bit of a bad girl for a little while. Like
Absolutely.
she was partying hardcore. And
I remember
she
pictures
needed
of
a break.
her and Paris and Brittany
Look, there we
falling
go.
out of cars
with the Von Dutch
with the
on.
Von Dutch.
Oh yeah.
Maybe no undies. Like that happened.
Do you guys remember when? Yes, Von Dutch and Ed Hardy. Where
on.
are you? I'm telling you, I would
Please
love
don't
it.
Come back.
I would
Please don't
love
come
it.
Back. No.
I love it, but no. Do you guys remember? I mean, she was the one that was paid her assistant to switch places with her in the car when she got into that wreck because she was her driver's
That's
license was suspended.
right.
Yes,
my
and then
Forgot.
we do love a little Housewives tea, but don't forget Michael Lohan did date Kim Zolciak from the Real
That's
Housewives
right.
of Atlanta.
I remember.
Of course.
I remember when Nene
Yes,
was
that
like,
deserves
is that
a laugh
Michael
track.
Lohan?
And the best was Nene was going, get Lindsay Lohan's daddy out of here. She's like, get him out, get him out, get him out. I would love for Lindsay to have a reboot. I think she's great. I've always loved her, and I think she's just struggled with the world accepting her again.
Yeah.
And maybe this new guy will do it for her. Just don't open your DMs, Bader, because if you've only got 600 followers, there's no telling how many DMs he has right now.
Keep
from
it
this.
private.
Straight
Keep
up.
doing what you're doing.
His
bro.
life might be about to change.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I hope she doesn't do a reality show like Paris did. I don't think it's good for Lindsay to do that.
Or like Brittany did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
it's just
no.
not probably not the best.
Just
idea.
keep it low key and go be happy with each other,
I agree.
And do what you're good at.
Act.
Acting.
And she is good at acting.
Yeah, exactly.
Except she did have that sleeper hit Rumors that I do play all the time when I'm getting ready in the shower. There's always people talking. They try and talking about me. All these rumors.
We gotta
Should
get
we do
this
a
mic
teen
away
music
from him.
video? That's what we want you to do, you
teen
guys.
music
As we get ready to end this episode, let us know in the comments on YouTube if you would like for the three of us to recreate the Rumors music video by Miss Lindsay Lohan, because we're down for it.
Don't tempt him.
We're not.
Don't tempt him.
We've got so many exciting things coming up, especially as we get ready for the end of the year. We're working on a countdown show for you guys. Some of our celeb favorite things, right? I know Miss Ashley has her favorite. Brie, you've got
Definitely.
yours.
For sure.
And Ashley, tell them where they can find us. us.
Oh
and
my
follow
gosh,
us.
you guys should go to erupt.news. We've got lots of articles,
Yes.
so much content. Follow us on YouTube. You can see so many shows, not just ours, but we have a plethora of
Yes.
information at your fingertips. So make sure to check us out.
All right, ladies. Well, I think this is it. Can't wait to see you again in the studio next week.
See you guys.
We'll be here.
Bye, guys.